But the guy doesn't even, Professor Dawkins doesn't even seem to know the sort of some basic things about the Muslim tradition, such as the Eid. For example, when he's in chapter, the good book, I think it's chapter 3, page 76, or chapter 2 or 3, I don't one of the two. What he does is he's attacking some of the narratives of the Bible, and by extension the Quran, because he says some of the narratives appear in the Quran and the Bible and are similar, right?
Yep.
Now he attacks the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, right?
Yep.
When he's told to sacrifice his son,
Okay.
or he's shown that vision, right? Now he's mocking the story and he says, look, there's a narration by the Prophet that, even Satan appears to him and, he tells him not to do it, and, that he throws
a stone, yep.
and he runs away, and he says that, oh, look, Satan seems to be the good guy, all of this type of stuff, right? And then he says, and this is sort of carried through into the Muslim celebration of Eid, the stoning.
Let me read that.
You can read it, it's just there, I've underlined it.
Okay, let's see this blunder. But Abraham, and this is from page 76, but yeah. Abraham, preferring his dream, drove him away by pelting him with stones. Muslims symbolically reenact this stoning in the annual festival called Eid.
Yeah.
That's a disaster.
Now, we know when Muslims actually, it's the right of...
It's doing Hajj.
It's Hajj,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's symbolically, yeah, we do it symbolically. But the thing is, so okay, look, it's a mistake.
Yeah, of course.
One would argue the mistake doesn't undermine his main point. However, let me just make this clear.
Yeah.
His whole argument is to undermine religion.
Yes.
And his book doesn't reference.
Yeah.
So by virtue of that, the reader has to rely on his authority.
Yeah.
So we're not really deliberately just poking holes, because everyone makes mistakes. But the thing is, since we have to rely on his authority because he's not referencing anything, then this questions his authority about religious and atheist discourse, and because he's made such a fundamental error about something very basic in Islam, which is
and to be honest, this pattern repeats through the book.
Does it?
Now, there's another place, I don't remember the page number, there's another place where he's talking about being punished for sins, right? And he generalizes. He says that people will burn in hell forever because they've sinned. Full stop. That's not necessarily true. You're not giving the full picture.
Absolutely.
You're not highlighting the mercy of God and forgiveness and so on and so forth.
Do you think this is a trend amongst not just Richard Dawkins, but atheists? Not all atheists, of course, because people are not the same. We don't otherize. Everyone's different. But there is a lot of people online, offline, who may consider themselves atheists, that they have these kind of misrepresentations of religion. Yeah. Do you see that trend?
Yeah, I think they just... I think what happens with most cases, right, is they learn a little bit about the religion from hearsay and people saying bits and pieces, like Chinese whispers, as he mentions in one of his chapters about myths. And based on that, because they already have a bias, that becomes a confirmation for their bias. And then they stop there and they never look any further. And they repeat that same old beaten narrative over and over again, as Dawkins seems to do throughout his books. Right? And as most of these leading atheists seem to do, they just have these misunderstandings about Islam and they just repeat them over and over again. And it's a shame, really, because even a regular non-Muslim, a normal non-Muslim who's just done a little bit of research, honest, genuine, sincere research, will be able to pick these things apart. Yeah. Right? And it just again, if you're talking to one of your primary audiences is the Muslim world, at least do your research.